My dearest Sylvia, it pains me to be away from you, my darling. The one drawback to being as wealthy as I am is that my vast holdings are now so spread out that I must make these periodic business trips. I long to be with you and the children. See you soon, your loving husband, Job.
My dearest Job, your pain of being separated from me equal my own, but I'm afraid I have some bad news for you. While you were gone, those pesky Sabins rode into town and stole all of your mules and oxen. Worse than that, they killed all your farm hands when they tried to resist. Please come home as quickly as you can. Your loving wife, Sylvia.
My dearest Sylvia, it appears that the Lord our God has removed his protective hand from me. Immediately after I received your last letter, a message arrived from the mountain meadows, saying that my entire herd of sheep were wiped out by a ball of fire from outer space. I regret that I will have to delay my return home in order to do damage control in my fields and in the mountain meadows, but I should return home in time for Job Jr.'s birthday party. Miss you so much. Love, Job.
Dear Job, I almost decided not to write you, but I fear I must. Yesterday, those pesky Chaldeans swarmed down from the hills and stole your entire herd of camels. It appears that you were right about the Lord our God removing his protective hand from you. I can't help thinking that it might be because you've been sinful. Have you been up to no good since you've been gone? You have a lot of explaining to do. Signed, Sylvia.
Sylvia darling, please don't be angry with me. I assure you that I've done nothing wrong. I'm finishing up my business here and I will arrive home in plenty of time for Job Jr.'s birthday. I'll explain things then. Please keep the home fires burning. Signed, your faithful husband, Job.
Job, you miserable jerk. Don't bother to return home for Job Jr.'s birthday. Job Jr. is dead. All their kids and their wives and families are dead. Their house collapsed in a windstorm and crushed them all to death. What sin have you committed to cause us such pain? What are you keeping from me? Is it another woman? Are you worshipping other gods?
Sylvia, darling, please don't blame me. I have searched my soul and found no fault of mine. There is no other woman. There is no other God. I am loyal to both you and our God. I remain your faithful servant, Job.
Job, you chump. How can you remain faithful to a God who would allow these terrible things to happen to you? You have lost everything. Your sheep and goats, your cattle and oxen, your camels and horses, your servants, your farmers and your children, were as pure as peasants. Why don't you just curse God and die?
Sylvia darling, please don't be bitter. All those earthly possessions and relationships were all gifts from God, and God has no obligation to protect me from losing them. I'm sure all these losses are just temporary. But even if they're not, I will continue to praise God for his goodness and justice. I look forward to coming home and seeing you soon. Your loving husband, Job.
Job, you silly, sentimental slob. You can't come home, because there is no home. The bank just foreclosed on your land. As if we haven't had enough misfortune, we're now homeless. The only thing I have to thank God for is that there is nothing else that could happen to us. Signed, Sylvia.
My dearest Sylvia, just when you think nothing else could go wrong, something else does go wrong. I now have an infectious skin disease, so I will not be returning home until I am no longer contagious. But I thank God that I'm still alive. Your faithful husband, Job.
Curse God and die, you chump.
My dearest Sylvia, as you know, I have remained faithful to the Lord during this long period of disaster and sickness. My skin disease has healed and my vast holdings, my livestock and my lands have all been restored to me. In fact, I am richer than I was before disaster struck. It turns out that God was merely using me to show the devil that some men do not base their loyalties on what God can give them. I will return home tomorrow with a caravan of gold and diamonds. Are you still angry with God?
Angry? Me? I knew all along this was just temporary. There was never a doubt in my mind.
Based on a play by Bob Snook, Conditions for Use. Do not sell any part of this script, even if you rewrite it. Pay no royalties, even if you make money from the performance. You may reproduce and distribute this freely, but all copies must contain this statement.